Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, The Spoken, where it's sports unscripted. I'm your host, Terry Love, and to my right here we have Lance Twidwell, the original creator of The Spoken since 2010 on Facebook. And to my left here we have Derek Williams, the coach of MoKan and AAU basketball. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the show here. First of all, I'd like to give a little disclaimer. We just got off of work. We were talking about doing this segment real quick, so that's why we're doing it at someone's home, actually. So just bear with us. But we're here to talk about Chiefs football today. And also, excuse me, I'd like to give a special thanks and shout out to Brady Quinn, Peyton Hillis, Eric Winston, and Kevin Balls for joining the Kansas City Chiefs. We know that you guys are going to take us to the next level on this upcoming season. All right, so let's jump right into it. Thoughts on the Chiefs free agency and the letter grade that you would give. Let's go ahead and start with Derek Williams. Derek?
I gave the Chiefs an A- over on their grade. I thought they were exceptionally well in the way they moved in the offseason. I thought we, offensive line, there's no secret that we needed a right tackle. We got one of the best right tackles in football in Eric Winston.
Right, correct.
We lost Brandon Carr, which wasn't happy to see him go, but obviously I think we brought in Stanford Routt, which is going to be a good addition to the team. I don't think, from my watching Stanford, I don't think you're going to be able to really tell the difference. I think he's a little bit faster, more athletic than Brandon. Brandon was more of a cover two. He was brought in here to play a system in the 4-3, right, where Stanford is more of a man-to-man, something that Cornell wants to play. So I think it should be a smooth transition. Kevin Balls will be a big addition in the run game because he's a great blocking tight end, and adding Peyton Hillis to the bunch, it just shows you that this Chiefs team is really going to run the football. So bringing him in is really going to help. So I'm pretty excited about what they did. And Brady Quinn, which I think is a good pickup. Let's be honest here, he's better than Palco, or whatever we want to call the guy.
Or Carl Stanley. We haven't seen anything from him.
That's another segment.
So it's definitely an upgrade. I mean, bringing him in.
So you said A- though, right?
I gave it an A- overall. I know we didn't get the quarterback position like we wanted to,
right,
but hey, you can't get everything you want.
Right. So Lance, what do you think about the A-? You think he's being too generous?
I don't think he's being too generous. I think he's being honest. I think that he's a very optimistic fan. I think there's a lot of people that are out there like Derek, rightfully so, because this team is showing on paper. If you look at this team right now, you're looking at a team that is going to be a team that can very well go deep into the postseason. And the reason why is because they build on defense and running. And if you look at the Steelers, you look at a lot of other franchises that have been historically great throughout all time, it's because they built on those in the trenches, if you want to go cliche on me, and also run game. And I think that the depth at the run game is going to help this team, especially with a struggling Castle, and we'll get to that obviously in a little bit. But I think that this team obviously has brought in a lot of talent that was much needed, because this team for the longest time has had nothing but needs. Of course, there's always going to be wants, but the needs superseded the wants. And I think this team has brought some serious depth, that we needed. And Eric Winston, obviously, in my opinion, was the biggest signing. And the biggest reason why is because Barry Richardson did not do a good job since he's been at this team. I think it's been over 2 years now. He's not been a good guy. He's been, kind of him first, not team first. And then if you guys know, Pioli is big on team first guys.
Right.
Even if they don't have the talent, he wants guys on this team that are going to be that way. And I think that Eric Winston brings both great talent and great teamwork. And I think he's the guy that this team has needed for a long time. And he's only 27 years old. He's going to bring a lot to this team, more than just being able to block, regardless of who our quarterback is. So I give this team a B+, because I can't say, because honestly Brady Quinn, in my opinion, is not a guy that solidifies that quarterback position. I think he's a guy that gives you a backup, because I think that's what he is a career backup. I don't think he's a guy that's... Well, yeah, absolutely. And that's why, like I said, I will give you my opinion on Matt Castle in a minute, but I think that if we're talking about the guy we brought in to be competition, if you will, for Matt Castle, I don't think he solidifies really anything other than the second or third string.
Yeah. Well, what's my personal opinion before we go into that topic? I honestly believe that Brady Quinn, given a chance, if it's true quarterback competition, I honestly believe that he will beat Matt Castle out for that first string position. But we'll get into that in just a minute. So who was your biggest signing for free agency? He said Eric Winston. Thanks to the fans, we got him here. Fans tweeted and did a whole lot of Facebooking and.
I mean, obviously money talks. Obviously money talks. Right. We had to pay him pretty, but he did say even on his own Twitter account that it was the fans that brought him in, and barbecue, by the way.
Right. So that's awesome.
Well, we're definitely known for good barbecue. I don't think that's a secret.
Right.
I think Eric Winston is the biggest pickup because to be a great football team, you have to. It starts up front on both sides of the football. So getting him solidifies the right side, and I'm really happy with Brandon Alberts on the left side, and we got some young guys that I'm really happy about. I think Eric Winston definitely was the biggest pickup because, like I said, if you don't have an offensive line, I don't care if you put Joe Montana or Dan Marino back there. They can't throw the ball sitting on there.
And I don't think we're ignoring the fact that Peyton Hillis brings so much more to this team than we've probably ever had. Yeah. Probably since Larry Johnson and Priest Holmes played briefly together. Right. And if you look at both running backs, Jamal Charles and Peyton Hillis, they both can catch out of the backfield. Yeah. And we all know that that's what this league has become now. Is guys that can. Marshall Faulk revolutionized this game. That's what it's become. And Peyton Hillis is 26 years old. No wear and tear on his body. Really hasn't had a lot of carries in his career.
Right. It's also a quarterback bailout.
And a change of scenery.
Whoa. I'm about to get sacked. Tosses running back.
He was actually a fullback, I believe, coming into the NFL. So, he has the body strength to be able to withstand a lot of punishment, and then you have Jamal Charles with the finesse game.
And I think if any team needs team needs quarterback bailout at times, it would be
Absolutely. Again, we'll get to that, right?
All right, second question is, does Brady Quinn solidify the quarterback roster? And thoughts on Kels? I know you touched on that. You don't believe that he solidifies that roster. You believe that he's still a backup quarterback or a career backup quarterback like Castle. So I'm gonna let you continue on that for a minute.
Well, let me explain the reason. I don't want to sound like a Brady Quinn hater here. I'm not trying to sound like I'm a guy that just wrote him off before I even really saw him really shine or get a chance to shine. Because I was a Notre Dame fan, or not a Notre Dame fan, but I was a follower of Notre Dame while he was there because I admired the way the guy played very, very confident. So when he came to the league, I was like, this I think he could do something with a good chance. But as I saw him play, early in his career, I didn't see a lot of that kind of transpire from the NFL from the NCAA to the NFL. And that, to me, kind of puts up some red flags, especially at that position, the most important position on the team. So, to me, Brady Quinn, to this point, what I'm saying is he'd have to prove me wrong.
Right.
He'd have to really show me something that he's never shown me. I think this will be his 5th year. I think he's really going to have to show me a lot that he hasn't shown before. And losing your job, and I've said this to you guys numerous times when we've just been together, losing your job to Derek Anderson is a problem. Derek Anderson is known for laughing on the sidelines, and ESPN made a big story. That's all that guy's known for. Right. He had one good season. That's been it. So losing your job to that guy, to me, show more red flags. So that's my opinion.
But he did earn his second string spot with the Denver Broncos.
Absolutely.
There saw the field, and then next he was second string. Tebow was third string,
Absolutely.
And he got put into the game. Right. So now he's like, I didn't get a chance to show what I have for.
But even as bad as Tebow supposedly played in a conventional sense, you never saw Brady Quinn get a breath on the field. Yeah. That should tell you something, guys. I'm just letting you know. There's a lot of people out there that don't believe in Tebow, and for Brady Quinn not to get a sniff of the ball, I'm just saying. Even in the Patriots game,
well, I'm gonna say the same thing about Ricky Stanzi on our team too. So, what are your opinions about Brady Quinn?
I like the pickup. Solidify is such a strong word. I don't know if it's ever been used with Brady Quinn. I don't know if he solidified us. It definitely gives us a better backup position that we had, puts us in a better situation. We've seen what happened last year in our backup situation. Right. Probably one of the biggest disappointments I've ever seen with the Kansas City Chiefs. I remember in the Jets game, we go to halftime and we got four total yards of total offense. Right. Are you serious?
Embarrassing.
Come on. There's Pop Warner teams out here, let's be honest, that can get 4 yards before halftime. That's just embarrassment. And right after that, Coach got the axe. But I don't think it's any means of solidifying. But I think we did upgrade the backup position.
Again, we're not trying to stress that or anything, but
definitely the backup position is definitely upgraded. And in the NFL, with injuries and the way everything moves, you definitely have to have a backup quarterback. And if you don't believe me, just ask Houston.
Right. Well, that's all the time we have for now in this segment. We have some more questions that I'll ask on the second segment. So thank you guys for your opinions. Once again, this is The Spoken, presented by Mr. Lance Twitwell, the original creator of The Spoken, Mr. Derek Williams here, the MoCan AAU coach, and myself, Terry Love, your host. Thanks for joining us. Thank you.